Reinforcing a culture of lawfulness. That's the goal of the Ministry of National Security in this fiscal year. Stay tuned for other major initiatives on the way. Then later, live the story of triumph and beauty, artistic expressions behind prison walls. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Keep it locked to Jamaica Magazine on this busy Friday evening.
Jamaicans! For Labor Day this year, we will work together for the children.
That's right.
In every community, let's show them that we care. By creating and upgrading public spaces,
So our children can feel safe.
to play, have fun, and bond together. So come on, Jamaica, let's work together. It's a labor of love.
Nurturing our children. This Labor Day, May 25th.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith and this is your GIS News for Friday, May 22. The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, has pushed back the implementation date for the fee increase on passports. The new fees will now take effect on Monday, June 1 instead of next Tuesday, May 26. As of June 1, it will cost $6,500 for an adult passport and $4,000 for a passport for a minor. In a release, PICA said the decision to delay the fee increase was due to the overwhelming turnout of persons applying for passports since the announced increase. To accommodate the large volume of customers, PICA said from Tuesday, May 26 to Friday, May 29, passport applications would also be processed at the National Indoor Sports Centre starting at 6 a.m. daily. Persons may also visit PICA's head office on Constant Swing Road in St. Andrew or other parish offices island-wide. In the meantime, PICA has fully rolled out its electronic queuing system to better manage the flow of customers. PICA's Chief Executive Officer Jennifer MacDonald pointed to those and other developments at a recent GIS think tank.
It allows my senior staff to be in their office upstairs and to know who is being served and how many people are in line, and they can make adjustments to ensure that the flow is better. We have introduced a more tamper-proof passport since 2013, so that the data page, that part with the little film, that is of better quality and more tamper-proof.
Persons have also been able to track the status of their passport application online via PICA's website. The consortium of companies which signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding with government for a $5 billion investment in the Logistics Hub initiative has responded within the stipulated time frame. Kroc Group, Kroc Systems and Anchor Finance Group LLC were given a 30-day time frame in which to respond as to how they would carry out the investment. A joint media release from the Ministries of Industry and Transport also revealed that the National Logistics Initiative Council has reviewed the information and will make its recommendations at the next meeting of Cabinet. The public will be informed of Cabinet's decision after that report is made. A recent report has indicated that Jamaica is making significant progress in eliminating corruption across different sectors of society. Executive Director of the National Integrity Action, Professor Trevor Monroe, says data published by the Latin American Public Opinion Project shows that few persons in Jamaica are willing to accept bribes. In 2006, about 36% of individuals in Jamaica were willing to accept a bribe. But thanks to the work of the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency and other anti-corruption bodies, that percentage has decreased.
By 2014, in the publication which is about to be launched on June 10, that has gone down to 12%, 1/3 of what it was before, and well below, in fact, half of what the global average is.
Professor Monroe was speaking at the handing over of material to the police by the United States Agency for International Development under the second phase of the Community Empowerment and Transformation Project. The Jamaica Constabulary Force got handbooks, manuals, and brochures with information to bolster its operations, as well as to improve the safety of citizens in their day-to-day operations. And finally, work is now underway to build 8 new classrooms at the Balaclava High School in St. Elizabeth. Ground was broken for the $40 million project recently. Funding is being provided by a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank. The addition is expected to facilitate moving the school off the shift system.
My government is committed to giving Balaclava High the necessary tools for you to do well. The shift system will be a thing of the past when we complete this new block of classrooms.
The best example of meeting the people's agenda is the upliftment of education, which is what we are doing here.
The complex is expected to be completed by September of this year. At that time, the institution will be renamed the Roger Clark High School in honor of the late Minister of Agriculture and former Member of Parliament for North East St. Elizabeth. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA is committed to quality customer service. The recently announced increases in passport fees will now take effect on Monday, June 1. As of that date, it will cost $6,500 for an adult passport and $4,000 for a passport for a minor. To better serve members of the public who need to get or renew their passports, from Tuesday, May 26 to Friday, May 29, PICA will accept and process passport applications at the National Indoor Sports Center starting at 6 a.m. daily. The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA, securing our borders, safeguarding our sovereignty.
The Ministry of National Security continues to put plans in place to ensure a safer Jamaica for all. In this fiscal year, it's all about reinforcing a culture of lawfulness. Portfolio Minister Peter Bunting shared those plans with his parliamentarian colleagues recently. Here's a recap.
Defeating lawlessness is not a quick fix. Lawlessness will only be defeated by professional law enforcement agencies working in close partnership with an engaged citizenry. This year's strategic focus for the JCF will be rationalizing units to push as much personnel as possible into frontline duties, while using technology and process re-engineering to increase the efficiency of operations. We launched the East Station Diary initiative at both the Manchester and Clarendon divisional headquarters. No more big book. This initiative replaces the physical book with electronic station diaries that will bring huge efficiencies and new capabilities in terms of searching the database and retrieving records. The hybrid digital analog push-to-talk mobile radio system that went into operation in 2007 has recently been replaced by a fully digital system. This new system adds significant capabilities, such as sending text and data from the handset, tracking vehicles and personnel using GPS-enabled handsets or vehicle-mounted radios. Cabinet has approved the contract for the upgrading and expansion of the police telecommunications system. This will greatly improve the handling of emergency 119 calls. The upgraded system will provide the supervisors with enhanced capabilities to monitor agents in real time on a call. We have also just completed the upgrade of the automated palm and fingerprint identification system. This has significantly increased the processing capacity of the system to accommodate up to 2 million sets of prints. This upgrade and expansion will allow the Criminal Records Office to load an additional 500,000 fingerprints that are now paper-only records. I am pleased to table this new administration policy for persons deprived of their liberty. It addresses the following issues. Once implemented, this policy will move us into the 21st century in terms of the treatment of persons deprived of their liberty. I would like to share a case study as evidenced by the significant transformation now taking place at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center.
We are in these prison walls, doing my bases, doing my time. I am spending
we intend to replicate this right across the system, Mr. Speaker. How pleased I am to table in this House the Deoxyribonucleic Acid DNA Evidence Act 2015. This legislation will provide for the keeping, maintaining, and operating of a consolidated forensic DNA data bank to be known as the National DNA Register. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, was absorbed the anti-corruption branch of the JCF in 2014 and continues to be the vanguard agency for detection and investigation of criminal kingpins, corrupt public officials, and professionals who facilitate money laundering. Cabinet has issued drafting instructions for legislation to establish MOCA as a statutory body independent of the JCF and JDF. Today, I can report that Unite for Change has been a force for good, partnering with our community organizations, churches, schools, and various civil society groups, taking the message of lawfulness across the country. This app, among other things, allows the users to anonymously upload text, photographs, or videos of criminal or suspected criminal activity to the National Intelligence Bureau. Reinforcing a culture of lawfulness is the main pillar upon which we can transform Jamaican society. Together, we must put our best minds to work, commit our most sincere efforts, and demonstrate our unshakable will and determination to reinforce a culture of lawfulness and make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents, and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
we as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together
as one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to
live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
So earlier you heard National Security Minister Peter Bunting make mention of the exciting things that are happening behind prison walls. In our experience, some institutions may be referred to as a concrete rose. The explanation on the arts page.
Every day I rise on a prayer.
With our prison, unfortunate, but prison are not hell, and the last part of the world. So we're glad for the opportunity where we can come on here and do something and go back out there.
And that's exactly what some inmates at two of the island's adult correctional facilities are doing, making the most of their time, learning a skill and excelling at it. Today on the arts page, we take a look at some of the artisans in the island's penal institutions.
Gonna be free like a bird in the sky. Gonna be free, gonna fly so high.
Instead of giving them a fish, you teach them to fish so that they can go back out in the wider society as better persons.
The Department of Correctional Services offers several self-improvement programs intended to change behaviors and teach skills. Art and craft is one of the many self-empowering methods being used by the department to reform the lives of those on lockdown.
On a daily basis, they work Monday through Friday. On weekends, they might do things in their cells, but weekdays, they work in the different areas.
These are self-taught crafts. We have matchstick work, and we have soap work, we have paintings.
The men on the inside have attested to the life-changing power of art and craft.
It helped me to calm myself, to see things differently, to be a better person.
I'm glad for the opportunity where we can come to prison, we can do something, because when I out there, I never know if you do nothing at all.
It helped me a lot to keep my brain more relaxable, keep me away from trouble and things. It was useful enough for, since I come here, I get to learn about the matchstick work and carving work and them things there.
The rehab program has helped me tremendously in a positive way, meaning that when I'm free, I'll be able to help myself in a more productive way and be a more upstanding citizen in society.
I've got to get myself together.
It helps to relieve my mind from the pressures of the sentence, because not just in prison, but wherever a man is, as long as he occupies his mind with something productive, then there'll be less stress to deal with. And that's where my rehabilitation has been working.
It enhanced me, it let me feel confident in myself, because I came here without a skill, and presently I have a skill now, and I feel happy about myself.
It helps a lot of us, because if you sit down and build something like this, and even that over there is a fish and a stand, you get out of trouble and involved in bad activity.
Not only are the art and craft works donated and given as gifts to family members and visitors, they are also sold and the proceeds given to the inmates.
Persons on the outside who are not aware of what happens in the institution feels that it is a waste of time. But we have inmates who genuinely, when they enter the institution, behavior change takes place. There is hope for them. They're encouraged to go into various rehab programs in order to elevate themselves.
So the next time you see a work of art, it just might be from one of the many talented artisans in the island's correctional institutions.
I've shown my art at the Island Life Gallery, the Revolutionary Gallery, Devon House, and tremendous amount of expos at the National Arena and some other spaces in the Pegasus lobby.
And
we would appeal to the wider public that once we help our inmates who are in the institutions, it is helping them to be better persons. They will not be a liability. They will be an asset to the wider society.
Art washes from the soul the dust of everyday life. Art is therapeutic. It's invigorating, expressive, introspective, but most of all, it's a way of metamorphosing into a new being.
But I got to pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over.
This has been the Arts Page.
So we're continuing to celebrate our children as we mark Child Month 2015. Their safety and security is our priority. One way to keep them out of harm's way is to have open dialogue with them. This week on School Zone, the emphasis is on boys at the Jose Marti High School.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a joy when they want me to frown.
It's all about the boys today on School Zone. Yes, it's Boys Day at Jose Marti Technical High School and we're giving you highlights. Stick around.
Swear!
Trabajando y estudiando para el hombre total. That's Spanish for working and studying to be the total man. It's the motto for the Jose Marti Technical High School in St. Catherine. Quite fitting for its annual Boys Day celebrations, where we were schooled that the males of this institution see themselves as men. So why have a Boys Day?
We are always looking for things to motivate our boys. We know that in Jamaica, the rate at which our boys are performing is not like the girls, and so we're always trying to find means by which we can motivate them, recognize their efforts, because our boys here have been improving steadily over the years.
You come to school and they teach you about chemistry, so you can be a chemist. You come to school, they can teach you about mathematics, so you can be a mathematician. But the most important thing in our life, which is to be men. To be a man is to represent God himself, to represent Christ, and that we need training for.
Rise to the occasion, look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop you.
Over 300 young men came out for the Jose Marti Technical's Boys Day. Your attitude determines your altitude was the driving theme for an exciting program which saw successful men encouraging the young boys to follow in their footsteps.
One thing I know, the wise man learns from the mistakes of others, while the foolish man learns from his own mistakes. So if we are talking about a better country in the future, you must be very involved in it because of your country in the future. No, so everybody preview me, I say. Good. So if that means that the development of the country is dependent on the young people, then the young people have to first develop themselves. All on have potential. All on have great potential. But potential by itself is nothing. If you don't focus on making yourself capable, if you don't focus on making yourself better in school, then you're going to enjoy 5 years and suffer 50 years.
This message of adopting a positive, uplifting attitude wasn't relegated to a day's activities. At Jose Marti, the Boys' Day agenda was bigger than this single event, and we saw the fruits of those efforts on our visit.
This is all done by the students of the Jose Marti Technical High School, the agriculture and vocation in specific. These are all grown on our school farm, and they are cared for by the students, and we harvest them and we sell them to members of staff, and the money will go back into the school's budget and we'll just continue the procedure. What they're trying to instill in us that no matter what, you need a trade to fall back on because we don't know where we will sway in the future. So
raising chicken, it is very easy and simple. The chicken takes 6 weeks to properly grow and we're ready to kill. The basics need like to clean the poultry properly, give them food and water.
Oops! Yes, we got a fright from the chicken. But back to Daniel, who asserts that it's become a profitable venture.
Work is very hard to find, miss, and this is a trade that would last forever.
And what a talented group of young men the Jose Marti Technical High is producing. The Jose Marti boys were also joined by their peers from other schools. return, we hear from some of the boys sharing what they learned and catch other snapshots of the day's activities.
We're from the Jamaica Technical High School, and you're watching School Zone.
Welcome back. Now, if you think a man can't cook, then you obviously haven't met the Jose Marti Chicos. Yes, that's Spanish for boys. A critical part of the day was showing that boys do have a role in the kitchen. Other activities included a quiz testing their knowledge and aptitude, plus lots more. So how important was this day to the young men?
This Boys' Day activity is very important as it relates to boys' development. And in having activities like these, boys can get to realize their true potential, what they can do in order to develop themselves for the future.
It's a good thing because this has shown the young men of the society to be real men and to work hard.
School Zone thoroughly enjoyed the Jose Marti Boys' Day and support the empowerment of all our men. How encouraging is it to see all these young men involved, developing not only themselves but also their school and their wider community. As their theme for today says, your attitude determines your altitude. Till next time, for School Zone, I'm Tamara McKeel.
Rise to the occasion, look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop you, yeah. Rise to the occasion, go ahead, you know. Come together and make it work,
And that's it for this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for staying with us. As the weekend approaches, remember to hug your children, share a smile or two, and never forget to let them know how much you love them. You may also watch programs produced by the GIS with them at your own leisure at gis.gov.jm or YouTube channel or other social media platforms. You may also save the date for our show tomorrow on this station. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and on behalf of the entire production team here at the GIS, this has been Jamaica Magazine. Have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.